so much for joining me for my very first tower class. Mine will be performed on the Cadillac because, as you can see, I don't have a tower on my mat as of yet. I'm hoping to get one soon though, because it'd be a fun toy, right? So since I am working from my Cadillac and not from my tower, I do have the option of using my trapeze, which I am using at this time. However, if you're working from a reformer with your tower, you don't have the option of that. Some options for your trapeze include resting your legs over a ball or resting your legs over the seat of a chair. I prefer a folding chair for this because they're a little lower than regular chairs for the most part that I found. If you find that the chair bothers the backs of your legs, please take a towel or a mat and place it over the chair so that's not an issue. We won't be using the trapeze, but for a few exercises at the beginning. And if you have any questions on how to use the exercise ball with resting your legs over the top, I actually just released a mat class where I use the exercise ball under my legs. It's a very similar class, different apparatus of course, all right? So, we're going to begin lying on our backs. We are springing our push-through bar from above, but I got ahead of myself because first we're going to do a nice articulation warm-up, standing. I will be standing on my Cadillac. However, if you have lower ceilings or if you're not comfortable standing on top of the machine, you can stand to the back of the machine with your feet on the floor, but it's harder to see that, and I have limited space back there with my area. So I'm going to come up. I'm going to have my feet sort of tented against the bars. So I have the bars are splitting my big toe and my second toe. So I have them right in between. From there, I have my hands up at my shoulders, and I'm going to lean back into a flat back hinge. So from right here, I'm wrapping my wrists, I'm drawing my abdominals up, and then I am squeezing my legs and my glutes. I'm pulling down my shoulders. I'm not sinking like this. I'm pulling down to lift up. Think of spiraling out slowly to pinky blade action. Now from here, we're just going to tuck our tail, release to neutral, and tilt our tail back. And neutral, and tuck, neutral, and tilt, neutral. Make sure your ribs are up the whole time. Now for those of you who would like to move on, we're going to come back to neutral. We're going to tuck our tail, articulate up through our spine. With straight arms, we're going to pull in towards the machine and do a nice chest expansion right here. Just looking up where the wall and the ceiling meet. My head's not going to the back, putting undue pressure on my spine. From there, I'm going to begin to articulate down, snaking through my body, coming back to neutral and leaning back. If you want, you can tilt your tailbone back. Nice hamstring stretch. Come back to neutral. Tuck your tail. Articulate out. And pull down to lift up as if you're pulling your head up, 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 up like a turtle. Now begin to snake through your spine. Vertebra by vertebra. To the original position. Tilt your tailbone if you like. Come back to neutral. This is called spread eagle. Tug your tail. Articulate up. Squeezing your glutes to press your hips forward. Pulling down by spiraling up to the pinky blade edge. Lift up. Arch your chin, your chest. Come back down. Straight line from your head all the way through your tailbone. Tilt your tail back real fast and come back to neutral. Good. Now, step back carefully. Now we're going to spring from above. When I come into the position that I will be in, whether it be with the trapeze, where your feet will be in the strap, not on the pad, or on the bar, or the chair, or the ball, we want them to be resting gently. All right, when I come down, my head's going to be, the top of my head's going to be at the end of my machine. I'm going to place my feet in here, and I do not have my trapeze screwed in yet. After you find your position, go ahead and screw in your trapeze. I'm going to anchor it in through my sacrum. While I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and check on my neutral spine before I grab the bar. I'm going to make sure that I have equal weight from my tailbone through the backs of both my hip bones, a slight lift in my low back, and I'm wrapping my ribs and I'm sinking my 12 ribs into the mat. My shoulder blades are up, back, and down. A lot of times we round up at the tops of our shoulders. See if you can pull those down gently, but still wrap your ribs. Go ahead and come out, or come off of your chair, come out of your strap or trapeze, come off of your chair, come off of your ball. We're going to press up, find my push through bar. I'm going to wrap my fingers around, wrap my thumb around, bringing my hands wide on the bar. I have a slight bend on my shoulder, my elbow, and I'm going to pull my shoulders down. From there, I'm going to bring my feet into the mat. We're going to go ahead and find our neutral spine, draw our bellies up and in, wrap our wrists, pull our shoulders down, squeeze in underneath our underarms to pull our shoulders wide. And we're going to, while we're holding this contraction and squeezing our glutes and drawing our inner thighs together, shooting energy out of our toes as we anchor through our sacrum, we're going to talk about some Cadillac or tower safety. When using the tower and using the push-through bar or the pull-down bar, you never just release them and let them fly. You could break your nose, you could lose some teeth, you could give yourself a black eye, you could hurt yourself very badly. So, we always bring them back to zero spring and release them gently while holding them with at least one hand with our thumbs wrapped around. So, my thumbs are wrapped around now, my fingers are wrapped around the other direction for safety. From there, I'm going to anchor my sacrum, shoot energy again, so I'm just working my legs really well. Roll my shoulders up, back, and down. Creasing over my sternum, I'm going to curl up to the tips of my shoulder blades. Check on your sacrum. Oop, I just tucked mine a little. So I'm going to press down with my legs and anchor in through my sacrum. This is where your lower body should be for a curl up, right? Not tucked, and lower it down. Really anchor in through your sacrum. I get a nice release when I do this exercise, and I find that my legs are supported. My arms are supported, my legs are supported. I'm really able to work on my core, really wrapping my ribs, drawing in on my abdominals, squeezing in on my glutes. Whoop, which I just had to do because I lost it, right? Your legs are supported, so you really have time to work on your form. Let's do 2 more. After we do this last one after this one, we're going to do a tiny, 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 tiny bridge with our feet supported. We're only going to lift up to our 12th rib. So go ahead and articulate back down, leaving one hand holding onto the bar so you don't release it. Find your 12th rib back here. It's pretty low. It's not nearly as high as you think it's going to be. Go ahead and wrap your fingers and thumbs around the bar again. Suction cup your shoulder blades to the mat. Drawing your ribs in together. Go ahead and imprint your spine. Tuck your tail. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your inner thighs to articulate up to just your 12th rib. And then articulate back down, 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 down. Since your legs are supported, you can find some nice movement through here. Come back to neutral. Imprint your spine to roll up. Really hollowing out from hip to hip. Drawing your hips towards your ribs this time. Articulate down and release. Imprint and roll up. Don't discount this movement. This is getting your lower abdominals ready for everything else. This is my favorite routine to do. This is the one that I do it on my own. I usually do it 2 times every 3 weeks. I love it. Let's pull our shoulders down, really pressing down on the bar with our pinky blade edge to engage underneath our arms. And now let's alternate. So still pressing down, come back to neutral, curl up, heavy sacrum, articulate down, tuck your tail, lift your 12th rib, and lower. The reason we're not lifting any higher is because we're not warmed up. Now, finding neutral before the movement is the work, guys. So as if you have an egg under your chin, don't crush it, don't let it roll away. Keep it nice and snug. Orange, apple. I prefer the egg metaphor because I don't want egg yolk running down the front of my shirt, but that's just me. Weight your sacrum so that you're not tucking. Lift your 12th rib, squeezing those glutes. This will help you with shoulder bridging later. And one more. And lower. And lift. And go ahead and lower down. Now I'm going to press up onto one arm to release the bar back to zero spring tension. I'm going to roll back down. I'm going to make sure that the tip top of my head is at the tip top end of my machine again. From there, I'm going to hold my head in my hands. I'm interlacing my fingers. My thumbs are long down my neck. I'm pulling them apart and pulling down on my shoulder blades at the same time.
So I'm widening my collarbones and pulling my finger blades apart. I'm pulling my shoulder blades down by squeezing under my arms. Pull apart, pull down. Wrap my ribs, make sure I'm in neutral position. Inhale, exhale to curl up. I'm going to float my left leg up off an inch, pull it into tabletop, extend it, and lower. Replace the weight, right leg up, pull it in, extend, and then lower. Equal out on the weight behind both of my both my hip bones. We're trying to make sure that we're not shifting our weight from side to side. We're going to add on after this. So if you'd like to add on the arms, you can for the single leg stretch. If not, if you're comfortable here, please stay here. Otherwise, reach your hands out long by your side. Curl up a little bit deeper. Maintain that space between your chin and your chest. Draw your left leg in. Left leg towards your ankle, right hand towards your knee. Don't grab yourself for dear life. You want to maintain the contraction. So C3PO hands and tap and release your hands down. Right leg up, pull it in and tap to the outside and release and down and up and tap. Release. Nice wide shoulder blades. Curl up deeper and release and down. You can really feel it in your abdominals here when you start letting your abdominals do the work and support the movement. And down. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Float your hands down. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Try to pull this tip tops of the shoulder blades out. Now wrap your ribs and sink your back ribs into the mat. Again, place your head and your hands long down your neck. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Float your legs up and off. We're just shooting for the middle of our bar. So we're going to pull our legs in without tucking our tail, right? We have a flat, heavy sacrum, and press it back out through the trapeze. Otherwise, you're hovering off your chair. You're hovering off your exercise ball. Now, since we have the bar side to side, if you'd like to add the arms, they'll come down here. Reach up, biceps by ears, and pull back down. And reach. So just up and down. And no rocky in your sacrum. And one more. Squeeze your glutes and down. Reach your feet long. Press them down. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Shoulders up, back, and down again, guys. We're going to do elbow to knee, and then we're going to be moving on with our push-through bar. So, I'm going to place my head in my hands, pull my fingers apart, thumbs long down my neck. Inhale, exhale to curl up. I'm going to float my left leg up, pull it into tabletop, and then I'm going to rotate. I'm pressing my leg down gently so that my right hip stays grounded. I'm going to rotate back to center, extend my left leg, float it down. Right leg up, right leg to tabletop, and then I'm going to rotate so I'm not losing the weight of the back of my hips. True rotation, guys. If you're rotating in elbow to knee and you're rocking all over the place, this is not what the exercise was meant for. It wasn't meant to see how much you could twist your body all around. We'll do one more just like this. We'll go ahead and make it a little harder. I feel like this is the harder way though, honestly. Nice and controlled. Now float both feet up and off. And now rotate to the left. And place your foot back there. My feet are floating through the strap. Curl a little deeper. So if you're on an exercise ball, float your feet off. If you're over a chair, float your feet off. Don't tuck your tail. Final one. Rest your feet down. Now rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Go ahead and flex and point your feet here for a second. Good. Now when you come up to sitting, make sure that you remember that your push-through bar is still sprung above you. So don't hit your head on that. I'm done with my trapeze. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Or I'm going to go ahead and remove my chair or my exercise ball. Take the bar, push it to wherever you push it for the side so that when you stand up, if you stand up, you don't knock your head on it. I've done it before. It's super unpleasant, guys. So, for the next exercise, the next two exercises, there is an option. If you find that you're not having any trouble tucking today, and you feel that you're fairly strong in your legs, you can leave your push-through bar sprung from above. We will be doing the hundreds and roll up with our arches on the bar. if you're feeling like maybe that's not your jam and you've never done it before, remove the spring. Do it from here. See how you like it. It'll be nice. Otherwise, if you want a little bit more, go ahead and spring it up, bring the bar down, and then place your arches on there. Guys, the thing is, for some more safety on Cadillac, if you have this bar in the middle between your two poles on the push-through bar, you don't want the spring rubbing. It's not good for the springs. So you want to go as far as you can without the spring hitting that. If you don't have this bar, it can flop right through. I think that stocks maybe don't have that bar. I can't 100% remember. I use balanced body. So I'm going to place my arches on because they give me greater control. Personally, you can place behind your heels on at your ankle, but it is good to get used to using your foot because we are going to go to a prehensile or toe position like you would for a traditional footwork warm-up on the reformer at some point in this routine. So I have my spring already pulled back a little further, so when I curl up or when I do roll-up, it's going to be a little easier. Halfway through roll-ups, I'll have to go ahead and adjust my feet again because I'll start scooting back with my slippy pants and the spring pushing me away. Hands long down by your side. I'm engaging through my glutes. I've rolled out slightly towards my pinky toe edge with my heels squeezed together. I feel like it gives me more control over the push-through bar. I'm going to inhale, exhale to curl up, reaching along towards my toes. Flat sacrum. I'm going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Try not to let the bar move. You're just pumping your arms. Now we're creased at our sternum. We're drawing our wrists towards our hips. We have a nice flat sacrum again. We're stretching out long through the fronts of our hip flexors. Again, our legs are supported. So we're really squeezing in through the glutes, but it gives us time to focus on our form for our upper body. Let's do 2 more. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Hands still down by your side. I'm going to push away a little bit further, but not too much. I'm going to keep my hands down by my side for a roll up. So, roll up here is difficult, especially if you're a heavy hip flexor user. We're going to inhale, drawing your wrists towards your hips. Exhale, make sure that your spring doesn't hit. Folding over our legs, we're reaching through the bar. Don't grab onto your bar like I just did, because it feels nice on the stretch, right? Inhale, rolling back, and exhale down. Flow your hands down by your side. We're not bringing our hands over our heads. For myself personally, I have my legs and arm springs here, and for everyone else, we're eliminating momentum as well. Inhale. And exhale down. So you can already see where I'm moving back to because my springs are coming up so high. Inhale. You have to be careful when you're rolling over that you have a nice press down on the bar. If you don't, or if you feel like that's an issue, please remove your spring because otherwise your bar is going to whack in the face. Keeping my biceps around my ears, and then I reach forward. Inhale. I have a continuous curve from the tip top of my head up through my tailbone. Inhale, exhale down. So I'm going to scoot forward a little bit, guys, because I'm already going back too far. When you scoot down a little bit, it makes it a little bit easier. So if you're feeling like it's gotten way too hard, try scooting in. Inhale. After this one, we only have one more. Drop your shoulders down your back. Great job, guys. Next, we have the 2 exercises that I always do before I film any of my classes. Now, bend your knees in, try to keep a heavy sacrum, extend your legs up, try to release the bar at 0 spring. Might not do that, I'm a little too short, I was a little too far away. Hold on behind your knees, rock up to sitting. We're going to come, we're trying to place our feet flat against the support poles on either side. I'm going to place my arms wide,
wrapping my thumbs again for safety, right? We're gonna do push through, and then we're going to do saw. So, I'm going to extend my arms up. I'm going to grab my wrist, draw my belly up and in, and flat back hinge forward. Don't allow your back to lay loose. Don't allow your legs to pop. Try to flex forward. Nice hamstring stretch. Now I'm going to pull back, using my lats to press the bar down, and I'm going to tuck my tail into the C-shaped curve, drawing my ribs to my hips. And I'm going to press downward underneath my arms as I draw my ribs towards my hips, draw my belly to my spine, and press forward. If you feel your spring, or you get your bar, go ahead and bend your elbows to press forward all the way. Then straighten your arms. Come back into the C-shaped curve tuck. Come up into a flat back position without popping your ribs. And hinge forward. We have two more just like that. Flat back, lean back. Lat press. Ribs to hips, tuck. Press through over your legs. Pull back into the tuck. Allow your arms to pull your body straight up. And right here, trying to bring your biceps by your ears. Now, flat back hinge, tuck, draw your ribs to your hips, lat press down. Press through, and pull back. Flat back, and then press up. Now guys, we're gonna flat back, press back. I'm gonna really make sure I'm holding on with my left hand. I'm gonna take my right hand. I'm gonna begin to circle it. I'm weighted through both back sides. My hip bones, I'm not popping up. I have a slight tuck. I'm gonna circle my arm around. Watch with my eyes. Bring it up to my ears. And then I'm gonna side bend. I'm gonna draw my left ribs to my hips. My arms over top of my bar arm and reach over. My bicep is by, my right bicep's by my right ear. I'm going to pull back, side bend, reach around, press up into a flat back, and saw off my baby toe while opening up across my chest. Now, reach back across. Think of this as a rodeo version of the presser. My teacher, Katie Rowley, called it like a rodeo circle, whatever they're called. Tuck my tail, bicep at my ear, side bend first. Don't miss the side bend. Try not to break your wrist to do this. Reach to the outside. Come back, tuck your toe, and now we're going to go into the flat back version. Come up with a flat back, wrap your ribs, and rotate and saw. One more on this side. Tuck your tail, reach back, bicep by your ear, and then side bend. Press the bar through, drawing your rib to your hip. Equal weight on both sits bones. And now side bend, don't miss that side bend. Come to the back. And up. And through and saw your baby toe. Now come back out to the side and bring your arm up. Press up with a flat back. Tuck your tail and come back. Release your left hand. Reach it out to the side. Looking. It'll come up by your bicep, and then you'll side bend. And then you'll draw your ribs towards your hips. Press down with your lats. Saw off your toe with a round back. Pull it back, side bend. Come back through center. Don't press up. You might come to more of a flat back position, but don't arch. And flat back hinge. Saw off your baby toe. Come to the side. Follow your hand. And side bend. The side bend is my favorite part. Round back. Saw to the side. And then flat back hinge up. And saw off your baby toe. Really feeling a nice opening underneath my underarm for myself. And tuck. And draw these ribs towards the hips. And flip the bar up. Now come back through center. Place your hand back on the bar. And press it up. Now, soften your knees. Release the bar. We're going to be doing some swan exercises again. Again, when you do the swan exercises, don't allow the spring to rub against the bar if you have one in the center. I'm going to take one hand, place it on the bar, wrap my thumbs. I want to make sure it doesn't whack me in the face and help me lose some teeth or break my nose, right? I'm going to come down onto my stomach. I'm going to place my other hand on the bar, wrap my thumbs, wrap my fingers. Now, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do some shrugs and slides where I bring my shoulders up on my ears and then slide my shoulder blades down my back. So, nice wide shoulder blades, abdominals up and in. Lifting my belly button up off the mat. Drawing the ribs together, I'm going to
reach my shoulders up to my ears and slide them down my back, like pulling down on the muscles underneath my arms. And reach and slide. And shred and slide. Okay, we have 2 more. Now we're going to do 3 swans. So come back, pull your shoulder blades down your back, press down on the bar. Begin to snake your head up on the inhale. And press down. So your shoulder blades down on your mat. You're feeling it very strongly in your underarms. Draw your belly to your spine, wrap your ribs, and begin to articulate down, down, down very slowly. And inhale. Pull up. Squeeze your inner thighs. Squeeze your glutes. If you feel it in your low back, draw your belly further to your spine. If that doesn't work, squeeze your legs all the way together. If you're still feeling in your low back, come back, come up, half as far. Your back is what's important, not the height you can get your swan. Good. From there, I'm going to release one hand to the mat, not both of them. Control the bar up to 0 spring tension as I press myself up to sitting. From there, we're going to do some full shoulder bridging. We need to make sure that we're not rolling onto our neck, guys. Very bad. And we want to make sure that we have great hamstring control here. So, I'm going to go ahead, come down, reach my foot up. This is also called leap. I always want to call it parrot, but I think it's parakeet, or I want to call it parakeet, but it's called parrot. So, your feet are in the same position for bird on a perch as you would for footwork on the reformer. So it's somewhere with my toes wrapped over the bar. My legs are squeezed together. Again, I spiraled up slightly to my pinky toe blade edge so that I have more control outside of my glutes, because that's where my control is. But I feel safer here with this movement. I've wrapped my ribs. My sacrum's heavy. I have a slight lift in my low back. My shoulder blades are nice and flat. You can flip your palms up to the ceiling. Now hamstring curl. Flat sacrum, don't tuck, draw down your low abs. Extend your legs, draw down your low abs. Uh-oh, double check, is your spring robbing? Nope, you're good. Now, come back, flat sacrum, squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your lower abdominals, wrap your ribs, and extend up. Now, hamstring curl again. And drop those lower abdominals so you're not tilting towards your tailbone, and extend. Pull it in, and up. Let's do one more just like this. And now, you're going to come up. Press down into the bar with your feet, but don't tuck. And now imprint your spine. Tuck your tail and lift up. We're looking for a straight line from our toes to our hips, from our hips to our underarms. Making sure we're not on our neck. Can you lift your head? Squeeze your glutes. Articulate down. Pressing into the bar. So you're really feeling a nice stretch. Draw your feet in. Extend them long. Flat, heavy sacrum, neutral spine, and lift. Imprint your spine, and articulate up, 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 up. Are your hips even? Squeeze your glutes. Articulate down, draw your feet in, and press through. Now feet up, and whoop, and imprint, bring it up, and now press more weight in your left foot. Float your right foot up to the ceiling, and lower, and lift right to the ceiling, and lower. Make sure your hips aren't dropping, and lower. Place the weight in your right foot. Don't shift your hips, and left foot up and lower, left foot to ceiling and lower, left foot to ceiling and lower. Imprint your spine all the way down. Bend at the knees, squeezing your knees together the whole time. Extend your legs straight. Draw your knees in. Hollow out from hip to hip. Reach up to the ceiling, tuck your tail and lift. And now we're going to alternate. I'm going to lift my right leg up, place it down, shift my weight. I shouldn't see a shift in my hips. And left leg. Don't move until you've shifted your weight. Hollow out from hip to hip. And print. Tuck your tail. Let's press through one more time. And bend in. Now, we're going to extend our legs. We're going to try to get to zero spring before I let go again. Whoop! Got it that time. My legs must have been longer. Good job, guys. Okay. We're going to come up to sitting. We're going to do cat. If you have low back issues, neck issues, You don't have to do the exercise as far as I go. If you feel any pain from it, please don't do the exercise as far as I go. Now, I have stacked my shoulders over my hips, over my knees. My knees are separate. The first thing I'm going to do is engage my lats and get to draw the bar down. I'm not going to press down like this, like sticking my booty up. I'm still right there. I'm still squeezing in under my arms and press the bar down. From there, I'm going to crease over my sternum. Squeeze it on my glutes so my hips don't pop back. And I'm going to press down, 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 down into the cow position. So if you can get down here, that's great. If you can rest your head on the mat, that's great. Some nice shoulder stretch. If you have shoulder issues, please don't do this. Tuck your toes, squeeze your glutes so your hips don't press back too far. Don't float your shins off. Come up, maintain the squeeze on your underarms. Don't release. Nod your chin to your chest. Squeeze your glutes. Don't want your hips to flop back. And if they do a little bit, that's fine, but they shouldn't go back very far. Don't let your spring grab your cross-through bar. And your push through, mine is right now. Now, begin to pull up, tuck your tail. Ribs to hips. Angry cat. Don't release that squeeze underneath your arms. Shoulders over your hips, hips over your knees. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Make no mistake, the squeeze is one of the hardest exercises, I swear. Now, tuck your tail. Pull up, 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 up. Release your lats. Go ahead. Release the bar. We're going to go to the roll down bar. My roll down bar is over here. If you have a tower, your roll down bar is on the same side, and you're lucky, right? But same thing with the roll down bar that there is over on the push through bar. You always want one hand holding on when you're releasing or pulling so it doesn't whack you in the face, right? So I'm going to come down. If you prefer your pull down bar lower than the very top, go ahead and use your sliding bar to get there. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and place my hands wide on the outside in the middle. I'm going to wrap my thumbs. I'm going to make sure that the top of my head is located at the top of the machine. I'm squeezing my legs together, or they're separated only an inch or two. I've located neutral spine here. I'm going to inhale, exhale, squeeze in on my lats to bring the bar under tension, wrapping my ribs around my belly button and my spine, making sure my sacrum is flat. Inhale, exhale, pull the bar to my knees. And inhale to release. Try to keep straight wrists. Inhale and exhale. Nice wide flat shoulder blades. So a nice bend in your elbows. You're not releasing the core of your body. We have two more. When we come back up, we're not releasing the push through, the roll down bar to neutral or to zero spring. We're keeping tension in the push through bar. So we're keeping it in our underarms. And now we're going to tuck our tail and roll up and articulate back down. This is a full bridge. So squeeze in on your inner thighs. Lock your feet together another inch. We're looking for a straight line from our knees to our hips, from our hips to our underarms. Press it down on that pull through bar so you don't lose it. And now we're going to combine them after this next bridge. So we're going to inhale, articulate up, and pull the bar down to our hips. Release most of the tension and articulate back down. Don't release all the tension. Inhale and exhale. Ooh, I'm trying to roll in a little bit. Maybe my clothes are too slippy today. Inhale and exhale. Halfway there. Good. Drop in on your lower abdominals. And one more. Good. Hold on with one hand. Roll to the side. Come up to sitting. Release the bar. Guys, we're going to do some roll down with some rowing on the roll down. It will be so much fun. Again, we're going to, just like we did for push through and stuff, we're going to put our feet flat up against the support bars. I'm going to place my hands on the outside of the springs, wrap my thumbs. I have just a little bit of weight on my push through bar. Tuck my tail and articulate down. My elbows have a slight bend in them. So my shoulder blades are nice and wide flat. Now roll your shoulders up, and down. It's going to take a little bit more work under your arms. Don't allow your ribs to flare. Tuck them in. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to inhale. Ooh, keep breathing. Inhale. This is like a version of roll down. So guys, like a version of spine stretch. Now we're going to press down with our lats. So it's right at about where our sternum and 12th rib meet. We're going to look down, tuck our tail, and roll back. And we're going to roll forward. Release the bar. Articulate up to sitting. Press down on the bar. Crease over the sternum. Tuck your tail. Articulate back. Curl up. Reaching the bar forward as if it's spine stretch. And then sit up. Let's do one more just like that. And then we're going to roll down and we're going to add on. So, reaching your legs long, allowing the bar to pull your shoulders, but then you're going to pull them down with your underarms for a nice, nice stretch. Reach forward as if in spine stretch. Stack your spine. And now the first half, and then we're going to do something a little different. Tap your tail, roll back. Now staying down at the bottom, wide by pulling down on our shoulder blades, but our elbows are going to be where we're going to row in toward 12th rib and sternum or a bra strap. Good. Wrap your ribs. Draw your abdominals up and in. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Great. And now we're going to stretch our arms long. Roll our shoulders up like a nut. Reach up to the tips of our shoulder blades. Elbows wide still. Another 8. No tucking. Neutral spine. Don't crunch your chin to your chest. And here's 8. Arms long. Now curl up to your sacrum. We're going to sweep our elbows behind us. Don't allow your abdominals to pop up like mine just did. Keep them nice and in. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now to assist you, leave a slight press down on the bar as you articulate back up to sitting. And release the bar under 0 tension. From there, we're going to go into a chest expansion with the roll down bar and a thigh stretch with an optional back extension if you would like after the first 3. So, I'm not in the middle of my Cadillac. I'm closer to the front third, I would say, the front of my knees, or the front third, the back third of my Cadillac. So I'm going to press down with my lats again. So I'm keeping pressure, and I'm pulling my shoulders away from my ears. I'm going to pull the bar down to my hips. I'm going to look to the left, center, right, center, and release. From there, I'm going to press down with my lats, wrapping my fingers, left, right, center, left, center, and release. Let's talk about our bodies. We're continuing on, but we're going to talk. Our shoulders are up, back, and down, and we're shoulders over our hips, hips over our knees. So we're squeezing our glutes strongly to stay stabilized. Let's do one more set. Abdominals up and in. Wrap your ribs. Nice, long neck. One more. Release. Now, walk your knees back. Just about maybe half a foot to a foot. From there, we're going to press down. And in a long straight line, we're going to hinge back. So we're in a straight line from the tip top of our head up to the bottom of our knees. Keep your pressure and float back up. When we float back up, we should come straight back up to that, the same position we were doing the last exercise in. Take a look in your mirror if you can. Shoulders over your hips, hips over your knees. One more. And then we're going to add on. Your hips should not pop back when you're in this movement. Imagine you're stuck between 2 panes of glass. Moving back and coming forward. A lot of glute and box of the body work, guys. So from there, adding on, press down with your lats. We're going to press back half as far. Extend back, looking up at the ceiling. Coming back to the original position and floating back up. Press back just a little further. Look up to the ceiling again. Nice wide collarbones. Come back to the original position and float back up. If you're comfortable this time, float back a little bit further. The option was there to continue on with the original knee stretch exercise and float back up. Great job, guys. We're going to be moving on to knee and straps. For my knee and strap positions, I have 3 notches on my machine. Mine's up at the 3rd notch. I'm going to take my foot strap, I'm going to put it in the middle. If you think mine look different, it's because I use the Y strap foot strap on my Cadillac Tower. Otherwise, regular foot straps are perfectly fine, guys. There's nothing at all going on with that. So, I'm going to be laying on my right side to begin. I'm going to be facing you guys so you can see me to begin all the exercises. I'm holding on with my right hand. I've lined my back of my body up with the edge of my machine, with the back edge of my machine. I have a good inch or 2 back here, guys, so that I'm not going to go flying off. I'm going to place my foot into my foot strap. I'm going to extend my leg long. I want to lift up out of my side on my obliques as if I'm creating space between my obliques and the side of the mat. I'm going to float my my foot up to hip height. Take a look. If your foot's up here, this is not your hip height. This is not your hip height. Hip height's down here. Okay? I'm going to point it forward, and I'm going to flex to pull it back. Don't pull it back too far, just a little bit to contract your glutes. Otherwise, it's going to start getting into your low back a little bit too much, so just a little bit past. My toes are still lined up with the arch of my foot, my bottom foot. I'm pressing in through my bottom leg for stability. I've drawn my abdominals up and in. I'm wrapping my ribs. I'm stacked shoulder to shoulder, hip over hip. And I'm shooting energy out of my working leg for it to grow even longer so my hips stack a little bit better. These are my favorite leg exercises. I really feel it the next day every time. And good. Now go ahead and stack your feet and squeeze your top foot to your bottom and lift it up to hip height. As if you're moving through mud. What's really going to make this exercise hard is making this leg longer by shooting energy out of it to try to grow it longer. Great job, guys. Now, leaving your foot at the top, squeeze your bottom leg to your top. Don't allow your top leg to move. And don't sink into the mat every time you do it. Good. Ooh, 9, 10. Point both feet, turn it out to a Pilates V. Now rock forward slightly in your thighs so you're not on your low back. Float your foot up and flex it to lower it. And 2. Don't allow rocking back on your hips to occur. So when you lift your leg, if you rock back to your hips, go ahead and bring the movement a little bit further in front of your body. And also, don't let your springs zero out. You want to keep the pressure in your springs the whole time. So you don't want, at any time, for there to be zero pressure because you're not maintaining the contraction. So 9 and 10. Now from here, we're going to bring our foot, drag our toe to our knee. From there, we're going to extend it out, flex it and lower it. Again, we don't want to lose the spring tension. So if you can bring it up higher and maintain spring tension, that's fine. But if you lose it, don't go up that high. Lift up out of your side closest to the mat. Good, keep breathing. One more in this direction. Now keep the flex. Flex your foot up, point it, tap your knee, and drag your foot away, shooting energy long to really elongate your leg. Point, whoop, I lost you there, huh? Now flex and lift. Point, tap your knee, and drag. Good. 2 more. Press this leg into the mat to really engage it. Now, still on Pilates V, float your foot up to hip height. Tiny circles the size of a baseball. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're really going to feel it coming from your glutes. 9, 10, and reverse. The bigger you try to make them, the more wild they're going to become. 10. Go ahead and bend your legs in. And then when you get to 0 spring tension, take your foot out. We're going to flip sides. I'm going to move my glasses so I don't knock them off. Don't fall off your Cadillac or your mat, tower, When you're switching sides, I'm going to bend under zero pressure. Bend my right leg in, put it in the strap. I'm going to line up with the back edge of my machine. I'm going to stretch my arm out long. I'm going to float my foot up to hip height. Again, not up here, not down here, right here. Point it forward and flex to pull it back. I'm making sure that I'm still rocking forward a little bit on my left thigh so that I'm not rocking into my low back. Again, also when I pull my leg back so I don't pop into my low back, I'm making sure that my toe stops at my arch on my left foot, my right toe. Shoot energy out of your right heel, making your leg long to stack your hips. Lift up out of your side closest to the mat and stack your shoulders. 2 more. 1 more. And squeeze. Now stack your feet. Shoot energy out of your right heel and squeeze your leg down and pull them apart. Good. After this, we get both feet in straps, or both feet in springs, which is kind of nice, right? It's not any easier with feet in springs. And now we're going to leave our foot at hip height and squeeze and lower, because you're not making, you don't have the carriage attached to your spring. So one leg can't take the heat for the other one if it's not as strong. Abs open in, wrap your ribs, squeeze your glutes and down. Now, turn your feet out to a Pilates feet. Shoot energy out of your right toe, stacking your hips by growing that leg longer. Rock forward on your thigh, float your foot up, and flex it. Just squeeze it in by squeezing your glutes and squeezing your inner thigh. Good, and inhale up. And inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale, squeeze, and inhale. And exhale, squeeze. And now point your foot, drag your toe along the inside of your leg to your knee. Extend your leg, don't allow the springs to go to zero. Flex your foot and squeeze it down, turned out. Point and drag and extend and flex lower. It doesn't matter if your spring is in front of your knee or back of your knee. Honestly, it just depends on the leg and how it's working out today. Mine worked out so that on the left side, the spring was in front. On the right side, for some reason, my spring's in back. I don't like the way that is, but that's where it's going to be today. We have 2 more. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to reverse and point and tap our foot and slide it down our leg and flex it up and point and tap and slide our foot away. There it goes, right on the inside, right? I'm sorry, I messed up my feet there again. Now we're going to flex and lift and point and tap and slide. And 1 more and flex and point and tap and extend. Now float your foot up to hip height. 10 small circles coming from where the glute and the hamstring meet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend both knees in until your spring tension comes to zero. Remove your foot spring. Go ahead and take your foot spring. Place it back in the original foot spring position. So you're no longer sprung from the middle for your double legs. Now, I'm going to come lying down onto my back. Find both of my foot springs. Place my feet in them. We're going to find a neutral spine, flat, heavy sacrum. I'm going to press away so my arms are straight. If you want your arms to come in, that's fine. Don't go like this so your shoulders round up though. Make sure that your shoulder blades are nice and flat and wide. From there, we're going to come into the frog position by squeezing our glutes. We're going to press it out and away, shooting energy out of our heels, squeezing our legs together. We should feel a nice active leg position here while we maintain neutral spine the whole time. There shouldn't be any tucking or tilting. Good. Wrapping our ribs, pulling down underneath our arms. So we have a slight bend in our elbows. 9, and press your legs up to the ceiling. You're in zero tension here. So go ahead and, or you might be, you might not be. Press away slightly. Flex your feet. Drop your right leg as far as you can without hiking or lowering your hip, and lift, and left leg down. Don't hike or lower your hip, and lift. There shouldn't be any shifting in our hips or the backs of our body. We're squeezing our glutes. Good. Keep it going. 5. We're going to go to 10. Now, we're going to make these a little bit more reciprocal. It's going to take a lot of control. We're going to be moving faster. Don't allow your legs to swing up, so right and left, and they'll switch midair. Don't allow your hips to hike. One more. Bring it up to the ceiling. Make sure you're maintaining that spring tension. Turn your feet out to Pilates seat and lower 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're not tucking or tilting. And lift up. 2, 3. Equal time down. 2, 3. And equal time up. 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Wrap your ribs. 2, 3. Nice long neck. 2, 3. Squeeze under your arms. And lower. Resist the lift. Resist and reach energy out of your toes to lower. And lift it up. Feel the hollowing out from hip to hip. Wrap your ribs. Nice long neck. Here's 8. And squeeze to lower. And squeeze to lift. And let's do one more. I'm feeling it all from the turnout and my glutes and my inner thigh. Now, keeping the tension in your straps, don't go to 0. Open your feet the width of your mat or your Cadillac. Lower them down without tucking or tilting. Squeeze it in with inner thighs and pull it back up or resist it. Keeping tension in your springs, and open and lower and lift. We're not releasing our legs at any time. It's the beauty of leg springs. We have this one. Bring it up, and we're going to reverse it. And so down. Hollow out from hip to hip. No tucking or tilting. And down. Here's 3. And 4. And squeeze. And 5. And open. And up. And squeeze. Now from there, go ahead and pull, or hold on to your foot strap. Don't hold on to the spring or to right here. I've had many, or if you can't reach that, hold on behind your legs. I've had many an injury that was a deep gouge that came from grabbing the wrong place on the springs, right? Anchor your tailbone there. Don't allow it to rock up. We're getting a nice stretch in our legs, which we'll all appreciate tomorrow after such hard work. Now from there, I'm going to turn out to a butterfly position and put the bottom of my feet together as if they're praying. Hold on to my straps. Keeping a heavy tailbone, I'm going to pull my feet down and in towards the bottom of my body. Don't allow your ribs to flare, your back to pop off the mat. Now extend your legs out to the side and pull down. If you can reach your straps, you can pull up and in. But if your tailbone's popping up, it's not doing you any good. Just go ahead and press down and pull up on your legs. Good. Wiggle your toes because it feels nice. Good. Pull your feet in. Release 1 foot at a time under 0 spring tension. I'm going to keep my springs where they are, and I'm going to be doing some arm work. So, if you needed to drop your springs for the arm work, of course, feel free. I'm going to come down onto my back. Where you position your body is entirely up to you for the arm springs. You don't want your arm springs flat against the mat, of course. You do want them slightly raised. I'm going to extend my legs long, so I'm stretching out the front of my hip flexors. I'm going to have my like to do a few before I decide where I want my arms to be for the day. I'm going to squeeze my biceps into my ribs, roll my shoulders up, back, and down, draw my ribs in, locate neutral spine, and bring my straps up to a 90-degree position with my arms. This is where I'm going to stop and where I'm going to begin. If you come here and you feel your shoulders creeping up, scoot your head closer to your attachment point for your springs, and press down and lift up. Coming back to 90. 3, 4. I'm already shaking, guys. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now bring your arms out to a T. Now, leading from your pinky blade edge, squeeze your hands down to your hips and release. And 2. If you feel like this is too easy, just keep it going for a couple and really squeeze your underarms, pulling your shoulder blades away from your ears, lengthening your neck, lengthening your legs. Good. And 10. And now bring your arms out to a T. Bring your left arm up. And now squeeze both hands down towards your hips. When you come back up, your opposite arm is going to float to the ceiling. Opposite arm float out to a T. So my right arm floated up to the ceiling, my left arm floated out to a T, and I'll bring it down and come opposite for an L arm workout. And up. Right arm down, left arm in, left arm up, right arm T. And down, and out, and down, and out. Abs up and in. One more time to each side. And down, and out. Now, arms up to the ceiling. Again, like with the leg springs, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. You want to make sure that you keep spring tension the whole time. You don't ever want to go to 0. Bring your arms out to a T, squeeze them down to your side, float them back up. Think of these as half arm circles because they're going to be a little smaller because you're not releasing the tension or the contraction of your muscles. Good. 4, and 5, and float it up. And now we're going to reverse. We're going to float it down and over to the side and up and down. 2, 3, 4, and here is 5. Good job, guys. Release the spring tension. Let your springs go. Whew. I'm always pulling hair out of my head on the arm springs. I don't know how it always happens. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and spring or push through bar from below. When springing the push through bar from below, you're always going to put your safety strap on. You want to make sure that your safety strap is hooked in properly. You're going to make sure it's not going to pop off. Everything's connected well. I'm going to go ahead and come down to the back. When you pull your safety spring up, you want to make sure that you're not holding on to right here, up where the attachment point is. That's where most of my gouges happen. So I'm pulling up with the spring, I'm opening the hinge with my hand, and I'm placing the spring on. I want to make sure you don't whack your head on here as well. I'm going to come down. I'm going to place my head at the top of the head, at the top of the Cadillac again. I'm going to bring my feet into a parallel position. I'm going to hold on to the sides, wide elbows. So I have nice wide shoulder blades, nice wide collarbones. When I do that, I want to make sure my ribs don't fly. I want to drop my ribs, and I want a heavy weighted tailbone. This is as far as my legs will go, guys. There's no shame in this game. My feet are parallel. I'm going to press up. Feeling a nice stretch to the back of my legs. I'm going to bend it down. I don't want my legs to go out to the side. That's not the stretch that we're going for here. We're going to do that other stretch next. And press it up. Pressing the energy up out through my heels. And lower. And one more. And now from there, we're going to come to Demi point and flex. And Demi point and flex. Really stretching it out and flex. Now come down. Now press up a little bit. Extend your left leg long on the mat. Now when you let your right leg stretch a little more, don't allow your knee to wing to the side. You want to keep your knee parallel. And when you do that, you don't want your hip to pop. So the trick is to bend your knee, keep your hips even, and don't allow your knee to flare. It's harder than it sounds, but it still sounds pretty hard. And bend, and straighten, and bend, and straighten. And now point, and flex. Point, and flex. Point and stay there. Using your abdominals, weighting your sacrum. Try to tap the bar with your toe, and lower. If it doesn't tap, don't tuck. We're pulling up with our lower abdominals. This is abdominal work, not how high can you get your leg work. Flex your foot and bend it in. Press it up an inch or two. Bring your left foot up. Extend your right leg nice and long, feeling the stretch. Now, here again, my left hip wants to pop and my leg wants to go out to the side. So, I'm going to square off and then I'm going to come in and see where that's it. I'm going to straighten. Oh, that's tight today, and lower. And straighten and lower. Wrap your ribs and point and flex. And point and flex and point. Leave it pointed. Extend energy out of your right leg. Float it up with your abdominals and lower. We're reaching for the bar. It doesn't mean we're going to hit it. And 3 and lower. Now, flex your foot and lower. Bring your right foot up. Walk it in so you're in a narrow Pilates feet. When you come up, don't allow your tailbone to come up. You only want to come down as far as you can while staying with a heavy sacrum. So, I'm going to extend energy shooting out my heels and lower. Same sequence, guys. This is why we stay with a narrow Pilates feet. We're going to come up to a Demi point, still squeezing our heels together and lower. So our heels are connected the whole time. 3 and flex and lower legs down. Extend your left leg long and now press. Don't allow your hip to hike. The bar wants to force it out there, but you don't want to let it. And point and flex. 2, point and leave it up, float it up and lower. And 2 and lower. And 3 and lower. Flex. Woo, my knee was not enjoying. My knee wanted to let go of that one. I was like, no more. Press up a little bit. Place your left foot under. Extend your right leg. Come down. Don't allow that hip to hike. I really feel the stretch in this hip. Stretch it up and lower. 2 and 3. And now point and flex. Point and flex. Point and stay there. Shoot energy out of your right leg. Float it up with your abdominals and lower. Again, if your foot doesn't make it, it's turned out and pointed, no biggie. That's not what we're necessarily going for. Flex your foot, bring it down, press it up a couple inches, bring your foot back up, hold on to the bar. Flatten your shoulder blades. You don't want your arms all the way out, just lift them up slightly so you can squeeze in to your pinky blade edge to really engage underneath your arms. Now straighten. My feet are flexed. I'm going to begin to articulate up, pressing the bar with my feet. My feet will come to a gentle point there. I'm going to begin to articulate down, 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 down. My heels are squeezed the whole time. As I come down, my feet will soften into a flexed foot position, leaving my tailbone heavy. And press it up. Articulate up. This is a short spine variation. Squeezing my legs together, squeezing my glutes. Now I begin to articulate down. I'm resisting the bar. It's a very nice stretch. And relax my ankles. Don't allow your tailbone to float off. We're going to add on at the very top of this exercise. Begin to articulate up, press up. Make sure you're not on your neck. So can you lift your head up? Now bend your knees into a frog and straighten them by squeezing your glutes and hamstrings. Or glutes and your thighs. 2. 1 more. Nice wide shoulder blades and articulate down, 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 down. Bend your knees in. Hold on with the bar to remove both your feet. Watch out for the push to the bar when you come up. Don't allow it to hit your head. Come into a gentle seated position. I'm going to flip my legs because I normally sit with that leg in the front. I invite you to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead, place my hands gently on my legs. Roll my shoulders up, back, and down. Inhale. And exhale. And place my hands behind me. I'm not interlacing them. I just have my thumbs facing towards my hips. I'm rolling my shoulders up, back, and down. I have a nice bend in my elbows. I'm going to do a chest expansion semi-exercise again. Wrapping my ribs around my abdominals up and in. Pressing up taller by pressing into my fingertips. I'm going to look to the right. I'm going to look center. I'm going to look to the left. I'm going to look center. I'm going to release. Inhale, exhale to press up one more time. I'm going to look. Don't wrap your ribs. Don't push out your tummy. To the right. Center. Left. Center. And release. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for my very first Tower Cadillac-ish class. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope that you guys have a great day. Thank you.